The truth occurs. The truth occurs.
Hi everyone. Well, on Friday, July 21st, a bomb ripped through downtown Oslo, damaging a government building and office buildings. And within a few days, evidence came pouring in that this was yet another false flag. 7 people were reported killed in the blast. Well, according to ABC News, an exploded vehicle was found at the scene, although they say it was not clear if the car was a bomb vehicle or near the site of the blast, but at least one explosion was the result of a massive vehicle bomb, says the US government. Most of the windows in the 20-foot high-rise were blown out and the bottom floor appeared to be gutted. Nearby offices were also heavily damaged and evacuated, including those housing some of Norway's leading newspapers and news agency NTV. Must have been one hell of a truck bomb. Kind of reminds me of Oklahoma City. But wait, that turned out to be a false flag. And the Norwegian government, although close, got no cigar as they performed bomb-related drills in the same area only days before. Damn! And despite all the damage, the perpetrator missed his target because it turned out the Prime Minister was working from home that day. Turns out the devil's in the details after all. All the typical earmarks of a false flag are there, and the team at Prison Planet has once again done a stellar job of investigative reporting, uncovering them, and also uncovering possible motives for the attack. But I'm not going to go over all that. I'm just going to give you the link and you can read it there for yourself. And strangely, this blog posted an article about the incident before it happened. So was this all fabricated, or was the date on the blog post just wrong? Very strange. But about this guy, the bomber. After bombing downtown Oslo, Anders Breivik changed into a police uniform and teleported himself to the island of Utøya, where he managed to shoot scores of young people who were attending a youth camp hosted by the Labour Party. And as the story often goes, when it comes down to it, things just don't work out for the authorities. It took the police 90 minutes to get there. Where's that boat when you need it? You'd think that these anti-terrorism folks would have learned something from history and get it right for once. Cases in point: failure to scramble planes on 9/11. They weren't sure if it was real or an exercise. It took the Indian Army 9 hours to arrive at the scene of the Mumbai bombings. Well, because the heat made them sleepy and they didn't have a map. Witnesses at the island of Utøya said there was more than one shooter, Breivik and another guy with dark hair. But the official conclusion is that Breivik acted alone. He is a Lee Harvey Oswald type figure, a lone wolf, if you will. He had no previous trouble with the law and was a good son who lived at home in his mother's basement. And even though he had gone all out to buy a ranch so he could have access to all this fertilizer, he still made it home every night for curfew. For a guy to have that much money, enough to buy a ranch, to choose to live in his mother's basement, I mean, can you imagine the Christian values that this guy had, to shun worldly goods in favor of good family values? So how could Breivik, a Christian fundamentalist, an adherent to a religion that preaches love and condemns killing, how could he do it? How could he kill all those innocent people? Well, his lawyer said it was hard for him, but he felt that he had to do something about multiculturalism, as he explained in that video he posted just before he carried out the attacks. Knights Templar 2083 by Anders Behring Breivik. This is reposted on someone else's site. You know, he seems a little confused to me. I mean, if he's so against multiculturalism, why does he post this video in English? I mean, sure, it makes it very convenient for the Western media, but doesn't it seem that a Norwegian patriot would post a video in Norwegian? This website says that Breivik was an Anglophile. Doesn't it seem a bit odd that an anti-Marxist, anti-multiculturalist would adopt the language of the Anglo-American Empire, the language of the New World Order, the language of imperialism, the language being used to turn us all into one big multicultural happy melting pot? Well, in any case, this all works out great for the war on terror people, because they've been saying all along that the terrorists now are going to be white people, Christians with blonde hair and blue eyes, and so you really don't know who's a terrorist. It could be anybody, because they're not necessarily, dark-skinned Muslims. It could be you, for all I know. Lucky for me, I don't have blonde hair and blue eyes. Who's next? The Jews? We can thank Anders Breivik, the terrorist, for turning himself into a real person just shortly before he did the bombings. In the tradition of Joe Stack, Jared Lee Lochner, and others who've gone before him, he opened a Facebook account, listed all his favorite books, started twittering, and posted not only a mysterious video but a huge manifesto online just shortly before he went through with his plans. And it's a good thing too, because if it weren't for this, then people might be saying that the US false flag team pulled the whole thing off by themselves and then offered Breivik as a scapegoat. But although there are all these indications that this was a false flag, we do have Anders Breivik in the flesh admitting that he did it. So if it was a false flag, how could they get a guy like Breivik to do it and go down for it? This is, I think, the most important part of mysteries like the Oslo bombing or the Undie bomber incident. What kind of person can be co-opted into doing such a thing knowing that he'll take the rap for it? You can't pay someone enough, and you can't blackmail them into it, but you can make them do it if they're what's known as a satanic super soldier. A person who's been programmed, usually from a young age, with post-hypnotic suggestions that have been implanted after they've been subjected to severe trauma. If you want to understand what a satanic super soldier is, have a look at the work of Russ Dizdar, the author of The Black Awakening, The Rise of the Satanic Super Soldier. And his website is right here, Shatter the Darkness. He also does a radio broadcast. Here's a video of one of his radio broadcasts in which he explains what is a satanic super soldier. Maybe it sounds kind of far out for a lot of you, satanic super soldier, but this is absolutely real. And if you really want to go down the rabbit hole, if you want to get beyond the false flag and the government did it, the Bilderbergs were behind it, maybe you think it's the Zionists or whatever, go deeper and you'll find out what ritual abuse is and programming, mind control, and a satanic super soldier. And these soldiers can be used to do just about anything. And as far as I can tell, this is the only kind of person that you could get to do something like this and then go down for it. I mean, who was this guy? He has no affiliations with any kind of group. He has no, criminal history, nothing. He's just living his life, and then just out of nowhere he comes and does this, and it looks like he had a lot of help. That's the kind of thing you get when there's a satanic super soldier involved. He's going to go down for this, and he's going to go to court, and I would guess that his defense might be, the devil made me do it. Well, thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.